Your future is spying on you. Yes, you heard me correctly. While you are busy worrying about tomorrow, tomorrow may be far more interested in what you are doing today. Imagine, for a moment, that the person you will become 5 years from now could follow you around for 24 hours. Invisible, silent, watching. She hears what you say when you look at your bank account. She notices how you react when an opportunity appears. She listens when you describe yourself to other people. She even hears those little declarations you make when nobody else is around. Nothing ever works for me. I could never do that. I'm terrible with money. People like me don't get opportunities like that. And somewhere in the future, a rather concerned version of you is reaching for the telephone. Florence Scovel Shinn understood something extraordinary about the relationship between the person you are today and the life you experience tomorrow. She believed your words weren't simply descriptions, they were instructions. As Florence famously wrote, "Your word is your wand." And most of us wave that wand around all day without paying the slightest attention to what we're doing with it. We say we want prosperity, then announce that money is impossible to come by. We want love, then insist there are no decent people left. We want success, then spend half the morning explaining why everything will probably go wrong. It's rather like ordering afternoon tea and then repeatedly telling the waiter you don't expect any tea to arrive. Eventually, somebody is going to become confused. Florence taught that the subconscious mind accepts the patterns we repeatedly impress upon it. What we continually think, speak, imagine, and expect gradually becomes familiar. And familiar thoughts have a habit of producing familiar behavior. This is where Florence's spiritual philosophy has an interesting meeting point with modern psychology. Our expectations influence what we notice. They affect our decisions, our persistence, our confidence, and sometimes whether we recognize an opportunity at all. If you believe nothing ever works for you, you don't merely feel pessimistic. You begin looking at life through that assumption. But here's the exciting part. An assumption can be changed, and that means the future isn't finished yet. Let's imagine your future self is still watching. An opportunity appears. Perhaps somebody suggests a business idea. You see a job advertised. You think about writing a book. You consider making a video, taking a trip, learning something new, starting again, or finally doing the thing you've been discussing since approximately the invention of electricity. For a few glorious seconds, you feel excited. Then the committee arrives. You know the committee. It lives inside your head and apparently has nothing better to do. One member handles fear, another specializes in embarrassment. There's usually somebody from accounts explaining that you can't possibly afford it. And the chairman concludes, "Better not." Florence would have challenged that voice, not by blindly doing everything that enters your head, but by asking whether fear has quietly become the person making your decisions. Because every time you say no to yourself automatically, you are helping construct a future in which nothing changes. And that brings us to today's little experiment. For the next 24 hours, behave as though your future self really is watching you. Listen to your language. Notice what you say about money, relationships, opportunity, health, success, and your own abilities. When you catch yourself making an automatic negative declaration, don't condemn yourself, simply change it. "I'll never be able to do that" can become, "There may be a way I haven't seen yet." "Nothing ever works for me" becomes, "Things can work out better than I expect." And "I'm just unlucky" can be retired altogether. It has served long enough. If you'd like to take part in this experiment, write this declaration in the comments. "I'm creating a future I can't wait to meet." Then keep that sentence somewhere in your mind today. And if you're enjoying these Florence Scovel Shinn-inspired videos, please give this one a like and subscribe to the channel. It helps us continue bringing Florence's extraordinary ideas to a new generation. Now, there's another part of this that matters enormously. Your future isn't only listening to what you say, it's watching what you do. This is where manifestation sometimes becomes misunderstood. Positive words are powerful, visualization can be powerful, expectation can be powerful, but eventually, life usually presents us with something to do. A telephone call, an introduction, an idea, an invitation, a chance encounter, a sudden urge to investigate something. Florence called this divine guidance. She believed divine intelligence could lead us towards the people, circumstances, and opportunities necessary for our good. The difficulty is that divine guidance doesn't always arrive accompanied by trumpets. Sometimes it looks remarkably ordinary. An email, a conversation, a book somebody recommends, a wrong turn, a canceled appointment, an idea you almost ignore. We frequently ask the universe for a new life while insisting that it must arrive through our chosen route. Florence's idea of divine order was much larger than that. She believed circumstances could rearrange themselves in ways we couldn't possibly predict, which means today's disappointment may occasionally become tomorrow's joy. The opportunity that disappears may force you towards another. The plan that collapses may reveal a better one. The person who says no may inadvertently send you towards the person who says yes. You cannot always judge the destination from the first bend in the road. So perhaps the question isn't, what will my future look like? Perhaps a better question is, what am I giving my future to work with today? Speak differently. Expect more. Notice opportunities. Follow the nudge. Take sensible action. And stop waiting for some magnificent future version of yourself to arrive and rescue you. That person is being created by you, right now. Your future self may one day look back at a completely ordinary Wednesday and realize that was the day something changed. A decision, a conversation, a new belief, a small act of courage. Nothing dramatic happened. There were no fireworks. The heavens didn't open. You simply stopped repeating the old story and took a step in a different direction. And 5 years later, everything was different. So today, imagine that your future really is spying on you. Give them something interesting to watch. Give them a reason to smile. And perhaps, somewhere down the road, that future version of you will look back at this moment and quietly say, "Thank goodness you finally did that." If Florence's teachings resonate with you, you'll find much more about putting these principles into everyday practice in the Manifestation Code by Keith Everett, which explores both the law of attraction and the law of assumption in a simple, practical way. And before you leave, remember today's declaration. I am creating a future I can't wait to meet. Say it. Believe it. Then go and give your future something worth spying on.